Hello and welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. Today we are going to take a look at the last of the April 2021 exercises, that being of SOC142, EventID 89, otherwise known as Multiple HTTP 500 Response. This took place April 18th, 2021 at 1 p.m. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So first things first, because I needed a quick refresher. Response 500 is an internal server error, generic error message given when an unexpected condition was encountered, and no more specific message is suitable. So what we see is that we've got a 101 address talking to our SQL server. And it looks like they're attempting to do SQL injection to the server. So we take a look. So 1 p.m., source machine, destination over 443. We see more or less the same. User number or equals, which gives a 500. We get union select 1 in 2. @.@ generates a 500. We get another one, user number equals 1 and select star from users equals 1. And this continues all the way down. So it looks like they're basically just trying SQL injection up until interesting. What was this one? That's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock was it? Yeah. So also at 1 o'clock, apparently they hit TechYard it, which looks like that's a compromised host. And then at 101, okay, so they managed to find after 1 o'clock what they could take a look at. They figured out that looks like command injection. So we'll have to go back and take a look to see if it ran who am I. Pulled an ID. And it looks like there's again that 101.3223. So it looks like they figured out command injection to fire off netcat to go back out on port 123, which we do see at 105. Port 123. And if we take a look at the source being the SQL Server destination, we see that there are indeed 2 events. So it'll be interesting to see as to how this plays out. So we have SQL Server, no log for browser, huh? But command, yes, April 4th at 1 minute after 1300. Who am I? ID, netcat. And then 2 hours later. So why would you run apt show apt? It's not a Linux machine. Or is it? No, it is. Okay, never mind. Oh, that's the problem. I see SQL. I think Microsoft SQL. Hazard with work. But we see on the process history, we do see that netcat so someone's looking at top. Of course, we're not getting much in the line of PHP config. So I have done a little bit of research on the actual no match. Okay, well, that's that then. So taking a look at the IP address, It is a Hong Kong, but out of, or for Tencent. Of course, it doesn't tell me the age of this, but regardless, the IP is flagged 5 times as being malicious and once as suspicious. We take a look at Talos reputation, confirms Hong Kong, Tencent Cloud Computing, poor email rep, and that it's on the pbl.spamhouse.org block list. We take a look at the IP void. We get 3 out of 115 blacklists, and as of recording, this is current. And there's the blacklists. So I'm surprised that there's not a follow-up event in terms of, hey, our SQL Server seems to be a little bit hosed. But that stuff was allowed. So it's another instance of why are we not running geo-IP filtering in regards to any of these servers, because unless we have somebody out in China or Hong Kong or Taiwan or Russia, Iran, Iraq, basically if we're not just localizing as to where we're doing business and we expect to sit there and see some of this stuff. I mean, I get it to an extent. China can be considered a huge market if you can deal with the CCP. But okay, so bad IP talking to our SQL server. That much is pretty much confirmed. SQL injection until they figure out how they can do local command execution, which leads to netcat, and pretty much that gives them access to the box. So we'll go ahead and we will take ownership, and we'll see about running through the playbook for this thing. Start the playbook. So, source IP. That is going to be our 101.32.223.119. Destination URL, which would be requested URL from the... Although I find it kind of odd that this is the one that it centers out, not any of the other attempts at SQL injection. Although they probably took, okay, I mean, you'd be looking at what, 5 different alerts then for the same exact attack string? Or string of attacks? User agent, Mozilla 5/5.0, Windows NT, da 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 da. Alright, so we want to make sure Safari /53736, Mozilla 53736, okay. Search log. Analyze the URL address. Oh, well, of course. Is the URL malicious? Well, it's pointed back to one of our machines, but it is an attempt at SQL injection. So I'm going to say malicious. And we're going to have multiple items to denote here, but we're going to grab this and we're going to pop that in there. So how many did I get in log management? Because we might as well record all of these that generated a code 500. I mean, we're looking for indicators of compromise. Well, here's your indicators of compromise. SQL injection 1. And I know there's going to be a few of these, so we'll pre-populate a few of them. Okay, we go back to log, we grab this one. And we go back to log again, and we will grab the third one. Oh, let's do that. 3, 4, 3 becomes 5, 3 becomes 6, 3 becomes 7, and it's not some crazy fuzzy math. So 4, I mean, effectively we're centered around all those that generated a 500 error. Well, these generated a 500 error. Oh, that didn't generate a 500 error. That's them actually going out. Anything else generate a 500? No, but it starts with that and it leads to this. So let's do this. I swear we've done this techie arted. Yes, we did. That was the event on April 26, 2021. SOC143 event ID 90. If memory serves me right, that was the showed up as bill@microsoft.com with a subject line of a period with no content, just an attachment. And I think inside that attachment it was a HTML file that attempted to prompt you to, or it was basically cred phishing, and I believe the response was to go to direct the response to TechYarded. So somebody apparently was web surfing on the SQL server. Oh, cripe. This is gonna kind of break off. So this is cred phishing. Oh, these URL addresses, not email senders. So this just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh, someone's gonna have a bad day, and it. This looks like command injection, but this generated a code 200. Okay, refresh me. 200 is an okay. So this looks like it's not SQL injection, it's local command. So this is just gonna get worse. So they try SQL injection, doesn't look like they're able to get it. Looks like they managed to get someone to do cred phishing, and then they turn around and start doing local command injection. At this particular point, it's just like, okay, burn this system to the ground. What's that line from Aliens? Take off and nuke the whole site from orbit. I mean, it's the only way to make sure. If I didn't have to worry about like copyright, I'd probably just see about pulling that up because that's one of my favorite movies. Now these generate command 200, so this says, yes, everything's okay. Please, local command inject me. I think we got one more because I think that's Netcat. right? There's, okay, yeah, so we're almost done then. And we confirm that Netcat is kicked off and running. What was the last one then? That was firewall. Is that? Yeah, that's just that it's Netcat out. And we already included the IP all the way at the top, right? Yeah, China IP. Oy vey. Okay, I think we've got that all put together. Has anyone? Yes. Containment. Request containment of the SQL server. Oh, someone's gonna be pissed. Extremely pissed. But finish the playbook. Yay! Okay, so we've got all of our items in there. We're gonna mark it true positive. System appears heavily compromised. Nuke and pave needed. All creds cycled. So any password that would have been used on the system needs to be cycled to a new password. System needs to be firewalled off from the internet. Rec geo IP to only countries we deal with / need access. Here, let's do this. We're going to do 3. Nuke and pave needed. All creds cycled. There. I guess the only thing that might be a little bit more annoying is sitting there and doing this all in caps. So this started as multiple HTTP 500 responses to holy crap, we have cred phishing. Holy crap, we have local command injection to holy crap, we have Netcat running back to this Chinese IP. I'll mark it as true positive. We'll see as to what I get in terms of responses. Okay, so did they like all that? They liked all that. So apparently I didn't fail or fail hard on that one. Oh, yeah, that's a bad day for somebody or several somebodies. But I guess that's kind of what you get. It's like I'd love to know when the SQL Server was put into place, because something needs to be done here. Because apparently the firewall team is not keeping up with how all this stuff's going, because a lot of these systems are just getting popped left and right. Granted, okay, it wouldn't be nearly as exciting then, but so with that, that completes our SOC142, EventID 89, or multiple HTTP 500 responses for April 18th, 2021, 1 p.m. And it leads to somebody having a very, very, very bad day. But with that, I will see everybody in the next video.